On cut day in the NFL, the Dolphins have an interesting situation heading into what could be the final season for Mike McDaniel if he doesn't get things turned around. Tyreek Hill at the end of last season said he's gone, but they haven't been able to find any kind of trade partner to this point. Our Jonathan Jones has said that teams around the NFL are monitoring the situation in case Tyreek becomes available. Tyreek, I should say. His numbers went way down last season. Yards pretty much cut in half. Touchdowns pretty much cut in half from that 23 season.
Tua didn't play a lot of the season.
Tua Tagovailoa was injured for much of the season, but what season hasn't he been injured for the most part? Tyreek Hill tied for the 10th highest paid wide receiver in the NFL right now, as a bunch of guys have jumped ahead of him, like Terry McLaurin back in with the Commanders. That thing rolled before I thought it would, so it kind of threw me off. This is a division preview of the AFC East presented by Verizon. We will edit that later. That's Pete Prisco. That's Kyle Long. We've got the Dolphins here in a situation where it doesn't feel like they're in position to win this year, right? But I feel like they have to win for Mike McDaniel, but then you have Tyreek Hill. And should you try to get something for him right now or just stay the course and play him?
He made it easy for you when he told you he didn't want to be there, okay? And you've heard Tua talk about this at the podium, and he says kind of what I would imagine the 52 other guys on the roster would say is, we heard you loud and clear, Tyreek. So it's either he has shown beyond the shadow of a doubt that he wants to be there and he's bought in and he's focused and he's not going to be a distraction, or the Dolphins have to make a deal. And I'll tell it to you like this. The Dolphins had a track team offensively for a few years. Now they're starting to try to get some big old butts up there in the middle. I look at this guy, Patrick Paul, who's filling in for Teron Armstead, the investment in the offensive guard, James Daniels from the Pittsburgh Steelers. This team is trying to be a little bit more black and blue up front. They're trying to be able to run the football and not just rely on speed. So if Mike McDaniel is who I think he is in terms of his offensive intelligence, he should be able to build this thing one of two ways, with or without Tyreek Hill.
When I talked to Tyreek, we had him on camera. I interviewed him on camera, and one of the things he said, I'm much more focused now. And this is the most he's done in the offseason ever in his career. He's down to 188 pounds. He said he got too heavy, felt a little sluggish. He's back to his Chiefs playing weight. And I asked him, I said, well, why weren't you more focused the rest of your career? And you really have a great answer for it, because he would just let it. These guys think they're invincible, and they let it slip away. He still ran 10.15 in that when he ran that 100. I mean, the guy can fly.
I've never been around anybody like Tyreek Hill.
It's unreal.
Physically.
And let me tell you, I don't think if you're the Miami Dolphins, you trade him. Chris Greer, the general manager, Mike McDaniel, their jobs are on the line. Yeah. And if your job's on the line, you're not trading Tyreek Hill. You're going to try and win as many football games as you can. So even if there's an offer out there for him, I think you're going to keep Tyreek Hill and try and win games.
I got to watch their joint practice against the Bears. And one of the guys I was really excited about watching, Tyreek, he wasn't in practice.
He didn't. Last week I was
standing right next to Mike McDaniel, and I was teammates with him in Kansas City. And I walked up and I told him, there is no more fun version of the NFL than when Tyreek Hill is the best receiver in football.
Correct.
And I kind of was like, have a great year, bud. And, now we wait and see. Yeah. Does Tyreek come out on fire again?
You know what I told him? I said, you only have so many earning years in your body. Quit being a knucklehead and go play football.
Well, maybe he's maturing. Back to his Kansas City playing weight.
And you know
maybe
what?
It took this long.
I'm telling you, they need him. And that guy needs him. Mike McDaniel needs him.
So does Tua.
Yeah, I think they keep him.
Okay, let's move on to the New England Patriots. They are among the teams expected to make a big jump this season. Drake May, second year as a quarterback. There are some people, though, John Breach included, who wrote an article at CBSSports.com yesterday that the Patriots should go out and try to trade for Jacoby Myers, who is requested a trade out of Vegas. He's been their leading receiver over the last 2 seasons. Now, whether or not he's actually viable trade option, that's another question. But if he is, should the Patriots go after him?
No, play with what you have. They got a veteran receiver in Diggs, and you have other guys. You have younger players you want to play. Demario Douglas had a great preseason. I loved him. I think he's going to be a good player. I wouldn't go trade for Myers. I think this team's a year away. I think Mike Vrabel will bring a culture of toughness, physical style of play, nastiness, and they're going to be competitive in a lot of games. And it wouldn't surprise me if they're the second team in that division. But I think they're a year away from pushing for the division. Next year, watch out. New England will be back because I'm a big believer in Drake May, and I think they're going to be much more physical on the offensive line. They need to add another couple pieces, another piece or two up front. but they add Will Campbell. They need to get better up front, but I think they're going to be a much better football team, going to be competitive, tough, and nasty.
Two things I know about the Las Vegas Raiders. I know it's the Patriots logo behind me, but this is the Las Vegas Raiders, Jacoby Myers. The guy doesn't drop the football, okay? He's not a wide receiver one where he's going to just be open every play. You marry that with Geno Smith, who is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the National Football League, taking the red zone out of account. He's not very good in the red zone. Jacoby Myers should thrive in that offense. Throw the ball on his body, and he's not going to drop it. And if I'm Mike Vrabel, and you're telling me that after I've been preaching that the space shuttle door has closed, all of training camp, nobody else is coming, this is what we got. What does that look like if I bring somebody else in?
Right.
It doesn't look good. And I think this is a team right now that can compete for a 7th seed in the playoffs. But I think they're at least 1 year away from being serious contenders.
Yep. Well, as it pertains to Myers, Jonathan Jones did say yesterday that he doesn't believe that the Raiders are actually going to move him. He's got some power right now.
But they have young receivers like Dante Thornton, the rookie, and Jack Bash, the other rookie. They really like those guys.
So you think the Raiders should entertain shopping him?
No, I wouldn't. But you could see why there would be a thought of it.
He wants more money.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Buffalo Bills. And producer Noah wants me to ask the same question right now as we asked all of last season. And that is, do the Bills have a number 1 wide receiver? I will add to that, does it matter? It didn't matter last year.
No and no.
No, it does not matter. In fact, I had a long talk with Joe Brady about this. And he said, look, we don't have a number 1 wide receiver. We throw to the open guy. And when you play football, if you scheme it open the right way, the quarterback's good enough, he's going to find the open guy. And their guys are good enough. You know, to just sit here and say they don't have wide receivers. Look, part of the problem last year was Dalton Kincaid got hurt. When he was hurt, it took away the threat in the middle of the field. He's back healthy again. Threat in the middle of the field helps open up the outside. They have enough guys. Josh Palmer's had a great camp. He's going to be a nice addition to them. Keon Coleman will be that much better, 50-50 balls. He got down the field.
They say he's a different player.
He's much different. When I watched him in practice, when I was there for a couple of days in training camp, different player. So they're good enough at wide receiver. They're really good on the offensive line. They will run the ball, and they have the MVP at quarterback. Don't worry about them on offense at all.
But if they had a number 1 wide receiver, would they have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl?
Yeah, but if they had a number 1 wide receiver, then would Josh Allen be the guy that's trying to force it to the number 1?
Like
or are they going to stick
Diggs.
with what Joe Brady's talking about? Just throw it to the damn guy who's open. It's not rocket
Diggs.
science.
When Diggs was there, he made that. He wanted the ball all the time, and Allen forced it to him.
Addition by subtraction.
Exactly. And by the way, how many teams do have a true number 1 wide receiver? That was another question Joe Brady asked me. He said, of course, we'd love to have one. They're in 10. There's not 10.
Nico Collins, Devontae Adams, Jettis. Keep going down the list.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
There might be 8.
Okay.
So it's hard to have one of those guys.
Do the Jets have one? Gary Wilson.
Is he a true number 1?
He's got Justin Fields at quarterback now. We're going to finish up with the New York Jets here on our AFC East division preview presented by Verizon. Let's talk running back, though. Final season of Breece Hall's rookie deal. He's seen rookies from his class get deals. He even said, admittedly, I haven't done enough yet to earn it. What do you guys think he needs to do in this final year to earn that contract?
Well, first he should stop saying that. I mean, don't say
you don't
that.
like him being honest?
No, don't ever say that.
Honesty is not the best policy.
No, don't ever say that.
I like the honesty.
I don't. Don't ever say that when it comes to negotiating your deal, ever. But they do like Braylon Allen a lot. I mean, that's a guy they think has got a big physical runner. And, you know, Aaron Glenn wants to be a big physical power team. Breece Hall is good in the passing game. You know what they could do is a lot like what the Lions did.
Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you get the Montgomery guy is Braylon Allen, and Breece Hall plays the role of Jahmyr Gibbs, although to a lesser degree. I think that's the possibility. But look, this team, their offensive line issues have been a major problem. They've upgraded up front. They're much better up there. 2 young tackles should be better. So I do think that they'll run the ball better this year than they did in the past couple of years.
There's a couple teams you know exactly what they're going to be like just based on roster, just based on draft, and obviously with Aaron Glenn being the new head coach for the Jets, we have yet to see what team it's going to be. But there will be no surprises when they're just running it right behind the ass crack of Armand Membo, and they're giving it to those 2 running backs, and they're letting Justin Fields be that horse. I mean, look, he's not going to sit back there and be Peyton Manning week in, week out. But the best teams are the ones when everybody in the stadium knows what's going to happen, and it can't be stopped. Running the football, beating you up front defensively and offensively, that's what the Jets are going to do. I say you get this guy signed as quick as possible, because if they are going to lean into that identity offensively this year, we're going to see Breece Hall be the guy there in New York.
Well, it's almost by necessity they have to. They don't know what they have in Justin Fields. And it's not like he's going to sit there and drop back and throw the ball 35 times a game and be that guy. You can get creative with him if you run the football, though, which is why they want to do that. So I think they do that. Keep an eye on Mason Taylor, the rookie tight end. High hopes for him. I loved him coming out, and he's had a great summer for him.
Any chance the Bills don't win this division?
None.
Didn't
Zero.
think so.
They're going to win 13 games.
Kyle?
Don't let Drake make it hot. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Zero.
All right, that's your AFC East preview. We'll have a ton of AFC East games on CBS and Paramount Plus this fall and winter. Josh Allen leading the way for the Buffalo Bills. Our coverage returns a week from Sunday.